Hello everybody, I just saw Halloween Kills and I got a big thing of chocolate milk. This is going to be a complete spoiler review. I'm not going to get into the plot because if you haven't seen the movie, I don't see why you'd be watching the spoiler review. You should go watch it first. Also, I think it's really dumb when people tell you the whole plot in the review. Like, okay, so this movie starts off with this and this and this. Yeah, we fucking know. We just saw the movie. We're watching what you think about it. So I'm not going to be doing any of that shit. It's just going to be a quick thing while I drink some fucking chocolate milk. Alright, I just have a random list of things written down that I can remember from, either things that struck me as cool, as terrible, in between, whatever. And the first thing I wrote down was Dr. Loomis. I was really impressed with, the deep fake that they had of him. It looked pretty flawless, and usually I don't like deep fake things, like Luke Skywalker. I guess I'm going into spoilers of other things. Luke Skywalker from something. But no, it looked really good. I thought I was impressed, because when he first steps out of the vehicle, you see his feet, and you hear, his voice, which is somebody impersonated him, saying, Michael, is he here? Or whatever, and I literally out loud laughed, because I'm like, oh, that's what they're gonna do? They're gonna be like, yeah, Dr. Loomis, look, it's him, it's just his voice and his feet, but they actually showed him, and it looked great, so I was super impressed with that. I thought that was cool. Another thing that struck me was, hey, there's a dead dog in here! And then there was a dog all fucking ripped open and shit, and kind of didn't really get a close-up of it. And then the other cop was like, what? Never mind. It was just like, fuck that dog. I will say that Jamie Lee Curtis was kind of cringe throughout this thing. She wasn't that important to the plot, which is fine, but all of her shit was just kind of cringe. Tonight we're gonna kill it. That kind of line happened a lot throughout the movie, but Jamie Lee Curtis was tonight evil dies, and it was always so dramatic. And I thought she was great in the last one when they brought her back, but I didn't care for her in this movie, which is sad because I love Jamie Lee Curtis. Speaking of characters that I don't like, the boyfriend, Allison's boyfriend in the previous movie, cheated on her at the dance. They open the current state of events with him looking for his friend, and then he finds the cop. I was hoping that this guy would get killed because he's a very hateable person. Oh, sweet, this person we hate, it'll be a really satisfying kill. Same thing with the bullies at the beginning who were bullying... What the fuck was his name? Lonnie! So Lonnie at the beginning was being bullied by those three kids. I was hoping, they would grow up and we get to see them die brutal ways. We all like seeing someone we don't like get murdered by the bad guy. Love that shit. I mean, he does eventually get murdered, but when he comes back in, he's like, oh, my girlfriend, I'm so sorry, what's happening? And it's kind of just water under the bridge. You can tell she's pissed still, hey, you piece of shit. And then she probably just gets over it because something much more important is happening and her dad's dead and all this shit. But, this guy doesn't get a redemption. Why does this guy get a redemption? And he's Lonnie's kid? Lonnie, the person they just shoehorned in? I didn't like the boyfriend. I was hoping he'd get killed off right towards the beginning. But no, he was in the whole thing. And it never really got brought up again that he's such an asshole. So whatever, what do I know? I love that Laurie Strode's character is so obsessed with the fact that, oh, he's obsessed with me. He's coming to kill me. He came to my house after 40 years. I was right. He needs to finish the job. And after the last one, we know that that's not true. He got brought there by the doctor, and that gets told right to her face. No. No, that has nothing to do with you. I love that she got knocked down a peg. I thought that was great because it was super annoying that she thought, oh, this is all about me, and I get that stuff can be cool to see in a trailer, oh, sick, oh, we gotta finish this, finish the fight, Halo 3. That mindset was kind of too much. I thought this bitch is so about her, and it shouldn't be about her. They're not siblings anymore. I'm glad they retconned that, but why is this all about her? And it's not, which is fantastic. I love that it kind of got straightened out, hey, he's just a fucking killer. I'm glad they went in that direction and fucking took Laurie Strode and said, hey, you know what, fucking stay in your lane, bitch. There were also, way too many characters to keep straight. I had fucking no idea who some of these people were. If I hadn't watched the first one so recently, I wouldn't have remembered half of them. But I kept getting, Lonnie and Tommy mixed up. We had the other kids that survived back in the day. We had, the sheriff from the original one. I like how they brought Officer Brackett back, just kind of, and he was fine, but it was cool seeing him But I was just so confused by who the fuck is who. I'm like, wait, Brackett's the fucking guy. He's just a security guard? I'm confused. Lonnie, I kept thinking Lonnie was so important, but he was just kind of fucking there. So they brought back Lindsay from the original Halloween, the actress, Kyle Richards. I could never remember who she was. I kept forgetting. So many people, I just kept forgetting who the fuck they were. I really liked that the townsfolk came into with that mob mentality, just like the old one. And they really focused on that, which was a little too, they focused on that a little bit too much, but they were always like, we need to stick together, numbers will destroy him, evil dies tonight, and they would never stick together. Like, a group of 4 of them would roll up to the park. Oh, those kids are alone. One of us are going to go over there and make sure that those kids go home because they shouldn't be alone. What the fuck? Go together. That's the whole point. Oh, we're going to 3 roll up to the Myers house, not tell anybody else, because we assume he's here. You kids stay in the car, I'm going in by myself. And then when they hear the gunshot, they both go in together, and then they split up in the house. What the fuck? It was a good plan. Anyway, when that bitch goes from the car to the park to yell at those kids, and then everybody gets murdered, and Michael takes the bodies and then, like, off-screen, moves them to the park, puts 2 of them on the merry-go-round, one, like, hanging up or whatever, and they each have a mask from Season of the Witch. I thought that was cool. They showed the skeleton, they showed the pumpkin, and as they were, like taking the camera up and gonna show the next body, I was like, witch, and then boom, witch face, and I'm like, cool, trifecta. Like, it shouldn't have been that exciting for me, but it was, and I know they've done this a couple times in other Halloween movies, but, and they reference back to those masks, but it was still cool to see. I enjoyed it. Speaking of too many characters in this fucking movie, what about the 2 older-ish couple people? One lady's playing with a drone, and it's like midnight on Halloween. I'm like, why are you awake? Why are these, like, oh, they look maybe 60. They get murdered and it was great, but why are they awake? And why is she playing with a drone? Like, it was just weird. It felt off, and I was like, okay, something's gonna have to do with this drone. Not really. Like, you could have had her doing anything. But you're just playing with a drone at midnight? Y'all are weird. Another couple characters that I did not like, for the most part, was Big John and Little John. They had to keep fucking saying their names. Hey, Big John! Yeah, Little John? Big John, I'm so glad we're talking. Yeah, Little John, it's so great. Oh my fucking lord, stop calling each other your fucking names. We get it. Like, was it to, like, instill in the audience who was who, and that these were their names? Because it really didn't fucking matter. It was just annoying. It was super annoying. And I thought Big John did a good job. But Michael McDonald as Little John took me out of the whole fucking movie. All I could see was, look what I can do. It was just the fucking worst casting decision. And I think he's great. I love him. I couldn't handle it. I could not handle looking at him. So those 2 guys were fucking annoying, and they had more setup and screen time than they needed. That's for damn sure. But I digress. I feel like I'm talking a lot of shit about this movie, and I liked a lot of it. Like, I thought the kills were super sick in this one. A lot of them were, like, original and, like, felt so real. I loved when he kept stabbing the dead body with different knives and just leaving him in there. I loved that shit. There was so much cool shit in this movie. I could pick it apart little piece by little piece and fucking make it sound like the worst movie ever, but I enjoyed myself, and it was fun. The plot kind of went a couple different places. I think for a while they were trying to say, like, if we succumb to evil and we let the fear get us, we're all the bad guys if we succumb to evil. They got that one psychiatric patient that they thought was Michael killed, and then killed himself, really, but it was all because of them. Like, who's the monster now? And I'm just like, what a weird plot. They kind of dabbled in that plot, but never really stuck anywhere, which is good, because I thought it was kind of a lame plot anyway, but that kept happening. But mostly, like, it was fun. I thought Michael was fucking top-notch in this one. I did see somebody say there was too much humor in this one, and I'm like, fucking where? Like, there's a couple, like, little funny parts, but so are, like, in every Halloween movie, a little bit. I thought there was more humor in the last one from 2018. I think a few less characters would have benefited this movie quite a bit. It would have brought down the plot of, like, having Big John and Little John. You need to know these people. Like, you don't need to know them. I feel like we spent so much time. It had too many characters to keep following throughout the entire length of the movie. We can meet somebody, they could die, whatever, but, like, why do we have to know so many people? I kept seeing the sheriff from the last one, the 2018 one, the guy with the cowboy hat. I kept seeing him and thinking, who the fuck is this? And he really didn't have much of a part. Obviously, he should be there. He's like the current sheriff or whatever. But like, they didn't use him at all. So I'm just like, who are all these fucking people? How many sheriffs are there? I feel like there's 4 sheriffs, but I don't fucking know. Overall, it's fun, I guess. You've seen it. You spent your money on it. Will you watch it again? I probably will. I'll probably buy it. I mean, I own all the other Halloween movies, so like, I don't see why I wouldn't. I will say I like it better than a lot of the Halloween movies. A lot of them are very miss. Like, I would say it's hit or miss, but it's mostly miss. This one's not as maybe as good as the last in the series, the 2018 one, but it's still Halloween. I'm excited for the next one. I don't know what you expected to come out of this movie. I mean, that's what I expected, and it's good. That's what I wanted. All right, that's all I know. I love you guys. I might do a review here of Lamb and The Last Duel, because I'm watching that this next week. So if I do some reviews of that, if you want to see a review of either of those, let me know. Hit me up in the comments down below, like and subscribe.